I told you, this thing is bigger than Nino Brown, and I got a list of proof.
Order.
If I'm going down,
Order in
I'm
the
taking a
court.
whole lot of
I
people
said
with me.
order in the court.
Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am.
To this day.
Nino Brown Boxing, I'm back in the building. Shout out to the LDBC. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. So, I just made a video talking about this past weekend made me feel that Tony Harrison is faking his injury. And I'm not going to talk about the faking the injury part because it really doesn't matter for real. It's not something that we can necessarily prove as long as he has a doctor that can corroborate his injuries that he say he has. That's all that matters. So I want to talk about JERMELL CHARLO. Let's just say Tony Harrison is faking an injury. Like, it's not out of the question that Tony Harrison could say, I got my injury, I went to rehab, I'm back in training, but I re-injured it. Like, that's not something put it like this, that's something that can definitely happen. And it seems like it's not being spoken on enough. For a lot of people to feel that Tony Harrison is faking this injury, well, we have to be realistic that he can prolong this as long as he wants. I mean, we see what happened with Keith Thurman. I know that wasn't a rematch situation, but damn, Keith Thurman was holding up 2 belts from 2 major sanctioning bodies for a long period of time. So I feel that even though I heard JERMELL CHARLO speak on the fact that he wants all the belts, and he said, like, it was odd. He said he wants all the belts like by the end of the year. And that's not going to happen. We're already in June. Harrison talking about fighting possibly late September, October. And there's no way in hell you're going from an October fight to fighting J-Rock for all the belts except for the WBO belt in that short amount of time. So I feel like this is the part where Tony Harrison, this is the part when JERMELL CHARLO needs to have a plan B. And his plan B definitely needs to consist of, if Tony Harrison prolongs this injury and he doesn't return when he says he's going to return, what is my next plan? Letting Tony Harrison stall out his career and dictate the next move that he makes for a long period of time, it's not going to be beneficial to JERMELL in any way possible. JERMELL, we all know he's a very talented guy, is athletic, explosive, but the way I feel and the way a lot of other people feel, mentally, he's not there. And if he puts all his eggs in one basket, and that means all his eggs just goes into facing Tony Harrison in a rematch, it could be a recipe for disaster for him because that fight may not come. And I feel right now he needs to consider that option, even though I don't know what he's doing in private, but slightly start considering that option in the public of facing J-Rock. Now, I say that for the simple fact that if Tony Harrison stays out for the rest of the year, and then that's a whole year, man. We get to December, it's a wrap. Tony Harrison said October. He said late September, October. If something happens and it stretches out for an additional 2 months, guess what? It's been a whole year, and JERMELL CHARLO has to find another way. So instead of being reactive, JERMELL needs to be proactive. If you really feel that Tony Harrison faked this injury, you need to be proactive and look at it like, okay, I may get this rematch this year, but if not, I need to go talk to Al Heyman or whoever else I need to talk to, reach out to J-Rock and have a conversation and let him know, like, I want to fight him for his belts. Now, J-Rock don't have to do shit. J-Rock just coming off of surgery itself. So I'm sure it's something minor, but J-Rock don't have to do a damn thing. JERMELL CHARLO, I haven't even checked, but JERMELL CHARLO, when he obviously had the WBC belt, he wasn't in the IBF and the WBA rankings. I haven't checked to see if it's been updated after he lost his titles, but I feel like the priority should be Tony Harrison 1 and J-Rock 1A. And to me, I haven't really heard JERMELL CHARLO mention Julian J. Rock Williams' name enough. You say you want all the belts, but in order to even scratch the surface of multiple belts in your division, knowing damn well Jaime Munguia with the WBO over on the zone is not really an option, you're gonna have to mention Julian J. Rock Williams' name as well. And I'm starting to find it odd of why he's not doing that. I feel, to me, Julian J. Rock Williams obviously is a better fighter than what he was when he took his first loss. And I feel like now, coming off of this victory against Jarrett Hurd, he's going to be an even better fighter once again in his next fight. So it's only a matter of time for Julian J. Rock Williams to just continue to elevate his game. But JERMELL needs to get on the ball with a 1A plan for his number one plan, because at this point I do feel that Tony Harrison is faking this injury. And hey man, you gotta have your backup plan. But it's Nina Brown Boxing. Shout out to the LDBC, and I'm out.